Hi everyone, it's Coach Alexa here. I just wanted to start off a quick series of videos on different aspects of running technique, just to share a little bit of knowledge with you and get you thinking a little bit about how you run and how you move throughout the day and how that might impact your running. Because a lot of the way we run is similar to the way we walk, the way we stand and the way we move about during the day. So this first video is about head and your head position. So we're going to start from the top and move our way down. The reason why head position is so important is because our head is pretty heavy, so we can actually help our body move much more efficiently by having our head positioned in a way where it's balanced nicely on top of our spine, on top of the bony vertebra. And if we do that, then the muscles around our neck, our shoulders and our back aren't having to work as hard, and it also means that we can run nice and efficiently. A good head position means that your body's not having to work as hard with its muscles to control the movement of that quite heavy head right at the top of your body whilst you're running. So give you a little bit of an example to start with. If you're looking down at the ground instead of up ahead of you, so if you're looking down at the ground, controlling that head movement will use a lot of the muscles all the way down the back of your neck, into across the top of your shoulders and down into your spine. Also, if you have your head slightly forward of your centre line, again, your muscles on your neck and into your shoulders are going to be working quite hard to hold that head position true. Whereas if your head is nicely stacked on top of your vertebra, actually if you try it now, just watching this video, pulling your head back slightly, you'll be able to feel that suddenly it feels like the weight has been taken off the muscles at the back of your neck, because actually that weight is now going through the spine, not through the muscles. So I'll start this little video. A chap is going to come running onto the screen in a second in super slow-mo from the left. And I'm going to try and pause him at a good point in his running stride, so about there. So this point is known as toe off, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in future videos in this little series, but it basically means the point at which that back toe is just about to push you off and send you on your way with the power from that back leg. I like this stance in people's running form because it enables me to just look at that overall posture. So here I'm looking at the head in relation to the rest of the torso. So the centre of the hips is about here at this little kink in the line on the shorts. Centre of the shoulder is about here. And what we can notice is if we draw a line up, it's a relatively straight line from hip to shoulder to ear, but maybe that ear is ever so slightly forward of that straight line. It's definitely forwards of the shoulder. What this chap here is doing with his whole head though is looking forward. So if you were to kind of draw a line like you did in your old school science lessons out of the front of that eye in the direction it's pointing in, it would continue to be straight along the top of this hedge. So that's really good. What is happening here a little bit is that head is slightly ahead of the centre line, and when talking to this runner as I was working to him, he works at a desk job, reasonably long hours, so it's not massively surprising unfortunately, because when we're sat down over a computer we are a little bit like this, that we've got that slight head forward position carrying over into his running. So it's also the way he stands, walks and moves and sits. So it's just something to bear in mind, because as I say, often when you're adding in a high velocity and high impact sport like running onto a posture that's already just slightly out of kilter from standard, we just increase the amount of force that our body's then having to deal with in that slightly non-ideal position. So that's worth just considering. And it also means that I'm going to talk through now 3 little tricks and tips to try how to work on head position. They're absolutely worth working on outside of just when you're doing your sport. So in fact, the more you can work on them when you're sat at your desk, when you're moving around, when you're walking, standing, the better, because it's a habit that you're spending most of your day in this position with your head, and it's a difficult habit to break sometimes if you're only working on it at certain times of day when you're doing your sport. So the first thing that we can work on is where our gaze is going. So to keep the head nice and upright, looking at the horizon. So that would be my first tip and cue. If you are aware that you're actually looking really quite down directly in front of you, almost at your feet as you run, then maybe start that process gradually. So first of all, look 10 metres down the path in front of you, then 20 metres, then 50 metres, and gradually your gaze will rise and rise until you're looking at the horizon more comfortably. And again, do that when you're walking, when you're moving around as well, not just looking at the floor. The other 2 little tricks are about this head position, so about getting the head position from out forwards here to your head being stacked nicely on top of your shoulders. And you'll notice when you do that with my posture, actually just by moving your head back, you tend to sit up straighter as well, which is a really nice knock-on effect. So a couple of different ways that work with different people of thinking about this, one of which is imagining a helium balloon attached to the centre of your head, just pulling you upwards. So that nicely adjusts the position of your head, but again, you noticed with me the knock-on effect on the rest of your posture. The second cue to try, different things work for different people with these cues, is to just thinking about tucking that chin backwards a little bit. So it's not moving the jaw itself, because otherwise that's a bit funny, but just imagine someone's nudging your chin just gently backwards, and you can see again that has quite a nice impact on my head position, but also my shoulder position and my overall upper body posture. So those are a few things to try, looking at the horizon, balloon out the head, tucking that chin backward just a few millimetres to try and work on that overall posture of your head. It will help hopefully with overall health and well-being in terms of neck, shoulder and back pain, and it will definitely have a positive impact on your running. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know.